Welcome to Creatively Exposed, a podcast and safe space for Black and marginalized creatives to empower, educate, and uplift you through the final product of self and creation. Bring a homie, share with a homie, and enjoy the show. A nice reminder that there is explicit content and language. Thank you. Welcome back to Creatively Exposed, and today it's a late night episode, y'all. And legit, all I can think about, unfortunately, because of Twitter, is entanglements and cake. So yes, this is probably old news by today. Well, Monday anyway. We all, if you haven't already, seen the Red Table Talk, and it was literally the most Virgo thing I've ever seen. And I know people are coming for Virgos. Mind your business. Mind somebody else's sign's business. Sheesh. But anyway, in all laughs and humor, it's interesting how much people give at the same time how little is given with Virgos. If you don't know, Jada's a Virgo. And because I'm an astrology nerd, I know that Will has Virgo placements, so that's pretty interesting. And if you get anything about entanglements, y'all, although Mercury has gone direct, there is still a shadow period. So, you may want to wait a week and some days before you really do send that text or reply to that text. And then the cake thing is really just people are making cakes and it's like a onion and then they cut it and it's a cake. It's weird. But that's that on that. It's late. So I've been thinking about rehumanizing. And I don't know if it'll be a series. We'll see what it turns into. We'll see. But I think in my own form of affirming my safe space for Black and brown creatives, marginalized folks, I really think that the key to thriving is being able to rehumanize ourselves, because that's basically what oppression is, right? It's made for everything to be set up where we can't see ourselves and affirm ourselves and feel that there's possibility for more. And so that's really something that I'm like, how can I work on this? How can I be a part of the movement? I had the pleasure to listen to some really dope conversations of people who also further actual safe spaces, physical before COVID, of course. Now it's virtual through Zooms and stuff, and that's her Instagram is at stories by Imani, and I'll definitely put that in the show notes so you can check it out. And they were talking about the stereotype of an angry Black woman and what really the true gist of it is being able to validate ourselves and give back that humanity that is taken from us so often. And so, how do you do that? through joy, through creating, it's funny because it's usually through the most mundane and allowing ourselves to be mundane, sort of. Like, yeah, sleep. We have problems with rest. We have problems with not having 16 master's degrees. Like, everything that has been done up to this point is its own form of thriving. And sometimes I even ask myself, like, yo, what are you doing? This whole last, it's been 4 months. It's been a whirlwind of resting, creating, and just going with the day to day, which feels very abnormal. I'm used to being on that hamster wheel, and it's like, should I get back on? Like, am I really doing anything if I'm not? So that's the theme, the biggest thought that I've been trying to marinate on. I am always doing way too much, even though it feels like I'm doing absolutely nothing. I've been grateful and am working on finishing a short story for a contest. And if you are a writer and you are listening today, Monday, you have one more day for Reclaim the Stars. And that is for Afro Latino short stories YA by, I think, Zoraida Cordova created it. And that's what I'm working on. So one more day. And that's been intense. And I think I want to invite one of my besties on here to talk about my short story process. But that's been wild to have this like enormous idea and fit it within 4,000 words. You say, holy crap, 4,000 words, that's wild. Bruh, them little 8 pages, when you have like, I don't know, let's think of, who knows, whatever, the Ring or something. I don't know. I didn't even see that movie because it was too long. Don't harass me for that. But like a big, huge movie in my mind, and then I gotta squeeze it, and it has to be meaningful within 4,000 words. To me, that was laborious. And I also want it to be where it's talking about what's going on in present day as well, but that it's not where it's continuing this, trauma porn, for lack of a better word. So that's also something I didn't really want. So I don't know. I don't know if I've done a great job. These are my doubts. And I also realize, I'm sipping tea, so apologies. I've also realized that I've been I don't even know the word, honestly, but story time. So I had a journalism teacher back in the day who had told me, like, nah, like, you're not really good at this journalism thing. And I'm just like, damn, bro, like, why you gotta be like that though? I just want to write. And I've internalized it. But what that's high school, years ago. But I felt like I wasn't capable of writing a story properly because of that moment. And the problem is that it compounded. So I had this whole school year in this course. I'm not doing good at this course. And I'm just like, bruh, but I really love writing. And it's not like I had, maybe your school did. I had creative writing as an option. Only place to write is English, which we're learning what are words, and then journalism. And we don't have enough conversations about how I've needed to kind of like assimilate in English. And it has to be like, oh, you need to know all these ways of writing whatever words, and this has to do this way. And it's like, it feels basic, but it's like, you're my last language that I learned. So everybody else makes sense. Like, Spanish makes sense, Creole makes sense, French makes more sense. Like, even sometimes like Korean makes sense because I watch a lot of K-dramas. But like, there's things missing in English that we have in other languages. And so I still struggle with certain things. And even if I study it, it's like looking at, I don't know, chemistry equations, where I'm just like, that's cool, but like, where do I apply this? Like, X plus Y equals comma, and I'm just like, where though? So all that to say, shout out to my poetry ass group chat, because one of them literally said it takes a village. And I think in the ability to rehumanize ourselves, we also have to realize that it does take a village to be awesome at whatever we're trying to be awesome at, right? The journey might be hours, but we don't get anywhere without others, and not just anybody, but like the right people. And when I have placed myself, and not even placed myself, because the universe did. Like, God put me in the spaces that I am now, that I am grateful to be in, because in no moment did I realize, I'm like, oh, these people like know who I am. You know, it starts with one seed and you're just like, oh snap, like, I'm really here in this dope space. And it's affirming to have a network of people who support you in your journey, and vice versa, which I think is the major key. Like, not everybody could just pour into you and you take, or you just pour into and take. And so find more feel good spaces. I think, as who I am, right? I've been programmed to believe that only excellence is acceptable. And I want to be excellent in everything that I do, but don't let that need to be excellent stop you from starting at the beginning. I'm learning, and I don't even think it's a failure. It's just like there's snags on the way, and I'm just like, oh, damn. You know, like my merch store, hi, COVID, it has, ruined shipping times. So it's like, do I really want to put this out here and push it, because I don't want to wait 6 to 8 weeks for something? And so roll with the punches and just keep going. You know, I will continue to say therapy